So over the last couple years, Riverdale's become this TV juggernaut for some inexplicable reason. And so far, we've gotten 2 Riverdale spin-offs, Sabrina and Nancy Drew. But recently, they just came out with the first direct spin-off, Katy Keene. And as the self-appointed Riverdale guy, whatever that means, I figured it was time to take a look and see what's going on here. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Blinkist. Blinkist is an app that takes thousands of nonfiction books and condenses them down into about 15 minutes or so you can still learn and improve yourself and all that without having to commit to 40 hours or whatever. Because, for most people, it's hard to find that kind of time between work, getting upset on social media, and hate watching Riverdale because you're in too deep at this point and you're not a quitter. I would personally recommend How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell because I am absolutely one of those people who always feels like I have to be doing something all the time, you know what I mean? Or Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg, because as I've mentioned several times before, big changes all start from changing small habits. Or tiny habits, as the case may be. So click on my link down below or go to Blinkist.com/Alex Meyers and the first 100 people will get an unlimited 7-day trial for free and 25% off if you sign up for the full membership. Okay, back to the show. Now, right from the beginning, we get introduced to our main character, Katy.
New York has a lot of dreamers. My mom was one of them. She wanted the clothes she made to be sold in a fancy department store on 5th Avenue. She used the same sewing machine her mother had. Now, I use it, and I've got my own dreams and ambitions.
Katy, did you seriously?
Whoa! Whoa! What's going on here? What are you doing just standing there? You don't show off abs like that unless you're fighting grizzly bears or washing cars or something. Come on, you don't just stand there with your abs hanging out for no reason. Even I know that, and I look like the white Pop Tate. But anyway, so this hunk of self-esteem is K.O. Kelly. And he's a boxer because, of course he is. This is the Riverdale universe after all. I mean, every guy's either a boxer or Batman, okay? So take your pick. Anyway, so Katy Keene is an aspiring fashion designer in New York City, currently working as a sales assistant or something like that in the one department store that's still in business for some reason, Lacey's. Because I mean, there's nothing more relevant with young adults nowadays than department stores, I tell you what.
Girls! Oh, thank you. Alexandra Cabot, heiress to the Cabot Entertainment Empire, is moments from arriving, and I'd like one of you to assist me, but...
I'll get the Chanel flat bag, new Givenchy gowns, Elia blouses, Celine sunglasses, and every Yeezy piece in the store. I'll also chill the Dom Perignon and get 3 Earl Grey macaron plated.
So this gives you a pretty good look at what kind of person Katy is and why none of her coworkers can stand her for more than 5 minutes. But anyway, so later in the day, she goes to talk to her boss, Gloria, aka the Walmart brand version of Miranda Priestley, about maybe sort of kind of getting a promotion to be a professional personal shopper, which is a really big deal, I guess.
I have been assisting you for 3 years now, and I really feel like I'm ready to be Lacey's newest personal shopper.
Some of the girls tell me you want to be a designer, that you actually make clothes. Being a personal shopper at Lacey's isn't some side hustle or stepping stone. It's a career. When I die, I want them to scatter my ashes here in Lacey's.
So, okay. Not sure why you're bragging about that, but all right. I mean, just imagine devoting that much of yourself to a company that does not care about you whatsoever. Which also pretty much sums up all of my past relationships, but that's neither here nor there. So after this, Katy gets a text about her new roommate who's just arrived in New York, and you'll never guess who it is.
Josie? Josie McCoy?
Katy Keene.
Now, for those of you who may not be as up-to-date on Riverdale as I am, because you at least have a little self-respect, Josie left the show around the end of season 3, and now she's finally back. They took a character who did literally nothing in her old show and gave her another one, so let's hope things work out better this time. Now, as the episode goes on, we meet all the rest of the main characters. We have Jorge, the aspiring musical theater guy who's hoping to break his way into Broadway, and at nights puts on his own drag show. And then there's Pepper, who does stuff with famous people, and therefore she's important, apparently.
Well, I just gave a TED Talk on the feminist power of Snapchat. I wrote this week's Modern Love column in the Times. Earlier this year, I shot an indie with Lupita Nyong'o and Kristen Stewart.
Anyway, so Josie's trying to get herself acclimated to the big city and goes around trying to find a job to hold her down while she tries to break into the music industry. But not having much luck either way, she ends up singing in the park with this lady, and you'll never guess what happens.
I know this is gonna sound like a line, but it's not. Like, I'm in the music business. I work for a label, and we're looking for new talent. Do you know where the Electric Lady recording studio is?
You mean where Prince, Stevie Wonder, and David Bowie recorded? Yeah.
Can you meet me there tomorrow?
Now, thankfully, our main characters have at least some kind of head on their shoulders, and they're not about to just let Josie go off with some random guy who's like, "Hey there, dollface, you want to be a star? I can make all your dreams come true. Just take a seat on my couch over here."
I don't want to be a jaded cynic, but this sounds like the beginning of a Lifetime thriller. I don't want you going alone.
Oh, no, Katy, I am from Riverdale.
It is the murder capital of the world. I'll be fine.
Yeah, Riverdale's the murder capital of the world, holds the record for the most full milkshakes thrown away per day, and seems to have the lowest high school graduation rate of all time. Because, every kid at this school's gotta be at least 25. Anyway, so Josie goes off with a guy to record a demo tape and play it for some bigwig executives, and long story short, things don't go so well.
I didn't love it.
Me neither. Catchy, but a little dull.
Are you kidding me?
Excuse me.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Alex, the Cabot board, including myself, have taken valuable time out of our schedules to listen to your song.
I'm gonna pass on this one.
And just like that, Josie gets all upset and runs away, and she's like, dreams never come true. Disney Channel lied to me. So anyway, flashing sideways back over to Katy, she's finally given the chance to prove herself to little Miss Grumpy Britches over here, when a prince, of all people, shows up at Lacey's.
Who's she?
I don't know. I don't recognize her. Her name is Patricia Klein. She's no one. She's under 1,000 followers.
Katie, don't you think this is precisely the type of thing you should have known about so that we could have adequately prepared?
I'll fix this.
I won't let you down. You already have.
But I wouldn't worry too much about Katy over here, okay? Because, if she can make it through 7 seasons of Pretty Little Liars, I'm sure she can survive anything. Now, as the day goes on, Katy talks to the prince's girlfriend, and they end up hitting it off pretty well.
Don't belong here. If a girl who grew up on the Lower East Side the way I did belongs here.
You grew up on the Lower East Side?
Yes, on Delancey Street. Shut up, I grew up on Delancey. What?
Where can I get this dress? I love it.
This one? I made it. Would you want to try it on?
And so Katy lets her try on the dress she made, and now they're best friends and everything turns out real swell. So obviously she's a shoo-in for the personal shopper position, right? Because come on, she's the main character in a CW show, okay? What's the worst that could happen?
The new personal shopper position goes to an exceptional, hardworking young woman. Congratulations, Amanda.
Now, as you can imagine, Katy's feeling a little blindsided by this because, she's still young enough to fall for that classic trick where it's like, if you go way above and beyond your pay grade for me, there might be a little something in it for you. Oh boy, I'm gonna be a good employee. Psych. And so Katy walks right into Gloria's office to find out what the yuck is going on.
I understand Prince Errol's girlfriend tried on a dress we don't sell in our store. One of your designs.
I had to think outside the box.
You made a choice, Katy. One that violates store policy as well as one of my golden rules. Made it about yourself.
You mean as opposed to about you?
I put Lacey's ahead of everything. That is why, effective immediately, you no longer report to this department.
This is the thing, okay? You always hear about how lazy millennials don't want to work or whatever, right? But I think it's just because a lot of us see people like Gloria over here, and it's just well, if you work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, never talk to your friends or nothing, and dedicate your entire life to this job, one day you might end up like me. Nope. And that's pretty much how Katy's feeling right about now. So between Katy getting demoted, Jorge and Josie being rejected from their respective endeavors, and Pepper just kind of being there, they all decide to blow off some steam and break into Lacey's in the middle of the night, like you do. Now, Katy ends up getting caught by someone from a different department, and long story short, she gets roped into using her fashion design superpowers to help him with the new front window display.
It was all Katy Keene's idea. I'd like to offer her a job in my department.
What?
It's low pay and long hours, but you'll be rewarded for your talent, not punished by jealous hags. 6 months tops, but then you're out in the world doing what you're meant to be doing. Designing.
And that's more or less how the show gets going. Katy's gonna try and be a fashion designer, one of the most notoriously toxic industries you could ever get into, but okay, whatever you say. Josie's gonna be a singer on her own terms, Jorge's gonna stop worrying about Broadway and just focus on his drag career, and Pepper is just gonna keep on existing, I guess. So, in a very reductive nutshell, the show is basically Devil Wears Prada mixed with seasons 4 and 5 of Glee. You have the young bright-eyed girl trying to get into the fashion industry, the Broadway guy and the aspiring singer trying to make their way in New York City. I gotta say, it's a pretty bold move to take one of the best movies you'll ever see and combine it with some of the worst television ever made. Okay, not to brag or anything, but I'm one of the dozen or so people out there who actually sat through all of the unholy abomination that was Glee season 4 and 5, alright? So you think you could just sprinkle a little Devil Wears Prada on top and I won't notice? Who do you think I am? Bunch of amateurs over here. Now, real talk, I'll probably give Katy Keene a fair shake, but I'll tell you right now, if Sarah Jessica Parker shows up and starts singing about having a kiki again, I'm out. I will say this though, Katy Keene is probably the most normal show of all the Riverdale universe type things. Cause when Riverdale first started, it was just a typical high school whodunit mystery thing. And it wasn't it was just a pretty basic show. And then right from season 2, it just started getting pseudo supernatural, like, you know, because everything is actually not supernatural, but like it totally kind of is, you know what I mean? And then of course Sabrina is completely about magic and werewolves and whatever. And then Nancy Drew also kind of leans into like there's ghosts and there's like kind of real supernatural type of sorted kind of stuff going on. Or at the very least it's still like a, you know, a mystery whodunit type thing. But Katy Keene is just like, I mean, like I said in the video, it's Devil Wears Prada mixed with Glee. And so it's just like this normal kind of show. You know what I mean? Like it's just like these like early 20-somethings who were just kind of making their way in New York City. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Now, I said this back in my Anne with an E video, but like nowadays, you know, everything is like superpowers and supernatural, vampires, werewolves, superheroes, whatever. Like it's all, everything is like that now, you know? And so having a show that's just about, you know, some 22, 23-year-olds, whatever they are, just in New York City trying to follow their dreams, like it's kind of nice in a way just to have a simple type of show. But I guess the question also is like, you know, if you like Riverdale and Sabrina and Nancy Drew, whatever, it's like, is Katy Keene gonna be enough for you? Because it's a pretty basic show. It's a pretty simple premise, you know? But I guess we'll see. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss any videos from me. Follow Charlie on Instagram, Charlie Meets Pumpkin. Follow me on Twitter. Check out the new merch store I have going on. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.